the entrepreneurship lifestyle is very fucking hard. As much as people try to glamorize the fucking space and, oh, they making this much money, oh, they got this going on for them, oh, this, that, the third, I want you to know this is insanely difficult, especially in the beginning. When you are in the beginning stages, bro, you are going to need to have a fucking mind of steel or the inspiration to continue to drive even when there's nothing in sight for you. It's just what it is. And so to cultivate this mindset, you need to go do hard shit. And the entrepreneurship life is already hard, because think about it. We talk about it all the time. Bro, you're going to go to your 9 to 5 because you still need to have a living and make money. You need to wake up in the morning, go to your 9 to 5 and act sort of enthused so you don't get fired. Then after you leave that job, you must come home and get prepared to work on yourself and on your business that you're looking to jump into full time. Going to the fucking gym is essential, because that not only will help you build the physique that's needed to be a presence within the space, but also it is breaking and fortifying your mind at the same time. So it's breaking the old things that used to keep you down, like limitations, like, fatigue, insecurities. It's breaking all of those things down to its raw form. Then it's going to fortify you as you continue to be disciplined and go to the gym nonstop. You're going to go to the gym from 6 to 8, whatever. You're going to go to the gym, then you're going to come home, feed yourself, and then that's when the real testament of who you are and how strong your mind is becomes more apparent, because then after you're done with your entire day, now it's time to start your real day, your business day. That time from 8:39 to like 1 in the morning, you will be working your fucking ass off to try to make your shit fly. It's like building a plane from scratch. Right? And then you're going to have to test it at some point, and that leap of faith when you finally have everything put in place, like your business plan, right? Who you're going into business with, what you're going to do, who's your niche audience, what's the value that you're giving everybody? How will you scale? How do you generate leads, right? Where do you put the money once you get it? All of these things, once you have an understanding of how it is, now it's time to blow air onto those wings to see if the fucking plane works. And when you jump off the fucking cliff with that plane to see if it's gonna fucking work, it's very fucking scary. Which is why, for that duration that you're still at your 9 to 5, you need to work on your mind and going to the gym. Because both of those will fortify your mind and strengthen your body. Your mind is the most powerful fucking muscle you have in your goddamn body. Right? Your mind and your heart. Them is the two that you must keep in coordinates with each other. And that's very hard. That's a different topic. But understand that those are the two strongest things. So you need to fortify your mind and work on your physique, which will in turn help your heart. And you want to be this confident, strong man who can have the poise and the aura that attracts abundance, lifestyle, women, respect, power, money. You want this aura, but you're not willing to do the work to get into positions. And we've all been there, bro. It's not a clean trajectory like this. It's never clean. It's going to be ups, downs, but you're going like this. It's like a upward wave. Like you're coming up and down, up and down, up and down. Bro, that first year of business for me, huge year. Huge year. Second year of business, you take a little decline because life happens. Third year, you get right back into gear. So you see, and like we say all the time, this too shall pass. To fortify your mind, you must understand that your life isn't just going to be a linear, straight line upwards, right? Like a rocket accelerator. No. Will it feel that way sometimes? Yes. But as soon as you feel it and you look around, you're like, fuck, this is new. This is nice. I like this feel. This is lovely. Be careful, because when you're in those high spots, you make high spot decisions. And high spot decisions on a downward slope can actually fuck your progression up. And although you're still going to get to the end goal as long as you keep pushing, it'll delay you. Like when I went into $40,000 in debt because I was in a high spot. You could do that when you're in a high spot. Go into $40,000 in debt. Yep, I'm cool. That's good. I'm going to bounce back in a month. And then you have a fucking low month. And then that low month, you never know. Hey, that stretches to 2 months. Oh shit, 3 months. Fuck. Whoa. Now you got a $40,000 debt from the high spot that you were in. You were making high spot decisions. And now you're in a decline for a second here. This too shall pass as well. Right? So when you're in that down slope, this too you'll get through that and you'll get back to a high spot. But you've made a decision in a high spot that wasn't going to last. The high spot wasn't going to last as long as you thought. Now you got high spot debt. Consequences of high spot decisions in low periods. Now you're really pressured. Now you got life beating the fuck out of you. That's what it's going to feel like. And so at what point do you break? Because realistically, you can't break. And that's my point. You have to fortify your mind to understand that this too shall pass in every situation. And when things get good and really good, stay neutral. When things get bad and really bad, stay neutral. You cannot allow your emotions to be fixated on the things that are going on around you, because that will destroy your progression forward. You may delay, right? You might get scared and anxious, which then is a low vibrational state, which then attracts negative things towards you, right? When you're in a high spot, you can't feel like, yep, I got this under control, because you never know what's coming. Imagine. And this is, I explain it to people all the time. When I got off the ground, when I finally got off the ground and my business is working, this is business number 5. This is 4 failed attempts to then get in the air on the 5th try. And then when life comes for you, all you hear in a rinky-dink plane that just got off the fucking ground, you're getting into the cruising altitude and you hear incoming missile, right? Your parents might die. You might lose your friends. Your wife might cheat on you, right? Your job might fire you. Your car might break down. You might have or catch a life-threatening disease. What do you do when incoming missile is coming to the thing that you fought so hard for? Do you give up? Do you stop working? Do you double down? Do you sit in the corner and complain? Do you call people and tell them about it? Or do you sit there and understand that this too shall pass, and no matter what happens to you, you've given it all you have. You've tried your best. And when I say you tried your best, you really did everything you had to do. You were disciplined. You stayed consistent. You did it even when it was hard. You did it even when you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. You read when it was boring. You cut off the friends that were holding you back. You stopped partying. You stopped all your addictions. It's real work. Being an entrepreneur, if you really want to be one, is real work, which means you need to have a strong mind. Everything is going to change for you. If you want to be an entrepreneur, be prepared for your life to go on its head and feel like nothing makes sense. And even when nothing makes sense, somehow you are still in the air. You don't need to think about it too hard, but you need to know that this shit's not just the linear path of cookie cutter Jimmy. I got a 9 to 5, and I get my fucking my bills paid from my paycheck, right? It's a fucking dopamine hit that kills your dream. You get stuck in a 9 to 5 that may pay you $200,000 a year, but you really want to be a fucking artist in Australia. But what? You're stuck in a goddamn cubicle. Think about it. The entrepreneurship life is self-development at its best. It's the epitome of self-development. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not to say that you can't be one, but just be prepared for the life, the real feelings, the raw feelings, the uncut, uncensored part of life to be a part of you now. You're adopting something that you were scared to adopt before. So let's be very clear here. Your mind is the strongest muscle in your body, along with your heart. And you need to make sure the two of them are working together to get you to where you want to go. And always remember, this too shall pass. Nothing is going to stay the same ever. So be careful, tread lightly, plan for the next day. This doesn't mean you need to have a plan B, but you need to have safety nets to that plan A. So that when shit doesn't go to plan, you can still fail, or you can still fall and be successful. When that fucking plane gets off the air and you start to get some good air, right? You want to make sure that you got a parachute just in case the plane fails. An engine fails. Incoming missile fucks you up. Life hits you hard. Have a plan set in place. Like we've said, freedom does not come by itself. No, freedom has a fucking friend called discipline. You must have a structure ready to go into when you leave the societal norms. It is not anarchy. Entrepreneurship is a very, very serious deal, right? It's not, oh, I can just feel my passions out, and oh, I can forget about paying taxes, and oh, I can forget about paying people, and oh, I can forget about this. No. What happens when you have to get paid last, even though it's your fucking venture? What happens when people have to get paid before you can pay your own personal expenses? What happens then? Right? Do you continue or do you fucking fail? What happens when people are dependent on you and your vision to make sure that it is fucking working and there's fruit to bear, there's money to share, right? Opportunity to spread. What happens? What do you do when that pressure is on you? Do you think you can do that with the mind you have right now? Because I knew when I was at Coke, I could not do that. But I had a fucking passion and vision to see this through. I'm not putting up Coke on a shelf for the rest of my life. I'm not being this fucking 9-to-5 worker who has to give away my time for money. I'm not doing it. So you have to make a real decision and be able to go with the punches. And what the crazy part is of this whole thing is that life is not only going to punch the fuck out of you, but that incoming missile is coming to teach you a boatload of fucking lessons so that when your ass crashes and has to rebuild with the scraps you got, you make a 10 times even better plane. So that when the fucking next incoming missile, you can dodge the bitch. So don't be fearful of being smacked sometime and having the delay, because sometimes the delay allows you to sit in your shit long enough to see where you fucked up on the fucking machinery parts that made the plane not work as well as it could have. So allow life to smack you sometimes and see where you went wrong and recalibrate, right? And try again. As long as you're still breathing, your mind can still be fortified by life's lessons. And as life teaches you, use those lessons to make an even better life, a better opportunity. Don't be so quick to run to the money. Getting out of societal norms doesn't just mean, getting out of what you thought was a paycheck. Because you also don't want to be a glorified employee. You could make $500,000 a year being only you, but you're still, again, giving your time for money, right? You still haven't learned how to have people depend on you. You still haven't learned how to be a leader and show people what to do. You still haven't learned the tools and the skills needed to build a monumental movement, right? And so you must go through those hard times to learn who you are, how to become a fortified mind, how your mind will help you, how to become that leader, how to speak inspiration, how to deal with the weight of people depending on you. That's the hardest. That for me was one of the hardest challenges. For you, it might be something different. But the pressure that comes with not knowing a certain skill that you must learn before your business takes off it's life-changing. So I don't know if you want to be an entrepreneur. I don't know. I hope you do. But I want you to know what it comes with. And be prepared for your mind to be cultivated into a way that you've never had it molded before, right? Expose weaknesses that you never thought you had. So be prepared for all of that and work for what you want. It's hard, it's a grind, but you got this, bro.
Boy, Mr. Brown.